Hello everyone, I'm Sheriff Wayne Ivey of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and welcome to another exciting episode of On The Go with BCSO. This is our podcast where we get to go behind the scenes and see all the different units, all the incredible work that our team does each and every day out in the community, and get to meet some of our employees firsthand and learn about what they do and how they do their job. So got our co-host with me, Jay Martinez. Jay, how you doing, my friend?
Real good.
All right, you ready for another great show here? We're going to have to work hard today. You know
I'm telling you.
Usually our guests are pretty knowledgeable about everything.
Right.
I'm afraid today it's going to be like pulling teeth. And,
overtime today on this one.
Yeah, overtime. So we're blessed to have in the studio with us Lieutenant Alex Herrera, and Alex runs our career development unit and really the tip of the spear in our unit, our agency outreach to get the very best of the best. So, Alex, welcome to the show, my friend.
I appreciate it, Sheriff. Thank you so much for having me.
Let's start with you. How long have you been with the agency?
Since February of 1996, so a little shy of 24 years.
Yeah, were you still in high school then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you even in high school then? So,
It's like my role model, man. I'm in awe right now.
Yeah,
that's the guy. That's the guy. I modeled everything after the laugh, everything.
Yeah, that's great. So you're Alex, all over again.
Yeah. Reincarnation.
Yeah, so
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see y'all really replicated the hair there.
Yeah, well, it's been tough these years.
So Alex, tell me a little bit about your career. Walk me through it. Started where?
So I started at South Precinct Road Patrol, like all the rest of the guys when they first start. Was very fortunate and blessed to get an opportunity to go to General Crimes Unit, stay there for a couple of years, get an opportunity to transfer to Sex Crimes and Child Abuse. Did that for a little over a year. Then was offered an opportunity to go to the Homicide Unit. Was there for just shy of 4 years. Had a great opportunity to promote out. Was able to go to Road Patrol, and then a good opportunity to go into our Special Investigations Unit, where I was doing vice crimes, IRS Task Force, and all these different units assigned to me. That's where you and I started working really close. Yeah, we worked a little bit in homicide, but we started working really close there in the dope unit. Yeah. So did that for a couple years. Again, great opportunity. Was having a blast, but had a chance to promote to lieutenant, and was able to take that. Once I reached that career milestone for me, a lot of different opportunities presented themselves. I was able to do PIO. I oversaw the K-9 unit for a period of time, traffic homicide, just a bunch of different divisions. Yeah. Moved around and was ultimately given the opportunity to come here in the career development unit. And I've been here for a little over 3.5 years now.
Yeah, I'll say, and I think I'll echo it for anyone, you've done an amazing job in the current role, all the roles you've been in, but certainly this opportunity that you've got now, you've absolutely created a great team. Yes. And we really do. I think I say this very openly, and not to offend any other agency, but I think we recruit the best of the best, and we're very blessed to have people that want to come work with us and work in this great community that we have. So, how many people do you have in your unit right now?
So right now, I'm going to have 6 background recruiters, and I'm going to be moving up my staff up. I was fortunate to get additional staff with this new budget cycle, so I'll have another.
Did I approve that?
You did, boss. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah,
so we're going to have additional trainers in place, but just a tremendous group of folks that all really work really hard. I have some great supervisors that help. We talk about our team effort, and I know it takes a community to do so much, and it really takes this good team to do what we do.
So let's talk about career development as we call it. What all falls under that title, under that unit? Okay,
so one of the things that I oversee is overall training for the entire department, whether it's a civilian staff or a sworn staff. So we oversee all training, all FDLE regulations, and above. So we handle the training side. We also oversee the background for all the hires that come in. Every applicant touches my office and the staff that's in it. So we deal with that. And also,
regardless if they're applying to be a telecommunicator, corrections deputy, IT, or even a volunteer.
Correct.
Everything comes through you.
Everyone comes through us.
So the message in this is get to know Lieutenant Alex Herrera if you want to come to work here. So
yeah, so it really does work out. We really have a great opportunity to just touch everyone and work those backgrounds. And then we do recruitment. One of the things that we do is go out there and recruit for the agency with my partners over in HR. They help us recruit the civilian side of the house. So we have a great working relationship with them. So we put our efforts to make sure that we hire the best. The agency speaks for itself. Our sheriff has done a great job, Sheriff, in putting us out there. Well, the fact the fact of the matter is, I get a ton of phone calls. I was with a phone call with a gentleman from out of state that immediately mentioned your name. So we have a great opportunity to reach out to the community, reach out to not just Florida, but outside of Florida as well. So, and on top of that, I also oversee the field training program. So I also oversee the training that our deputy sheriffs come in. We run them through an orientation, and then we have their training program to get them ready to go out there and serve the community.
Right. So you basically, whether you're training first aid or you're training to tactical procedures, training, week 6 of field training to be a telecommunicator, any of that training falls under you.
Correct. Now, there'll be specialty assignments. For example, you mentioned telecommunicator. We'll get them in. We'll get them basically set up, and their staff will get them specific training as it relates to that job. But overall training for the department goes through me. Any training requests outside of the agency also is funneled through my office, and I'll get a chance to see that as well. So we want to make sure that we use the funding appropriately, and we send the training that's necessary and needed, and that's going to give us the best benefit for just not us, but the community.
So walk me through the process of I want to work for the Brevard County Sheriff's Office in any capacity. What's the first thing somebody needs to do?
So the first thing they need to do is just go online to our www.brevardsheriff.com and check out our open postings. I encourage everyone to read the job description so they have a good understanding of the position. So once they do that, I tell them to go ahead and apply. We have a kind of famous saying now, accuracy over speed. It's really important that they understand that they need to fill out that application appropriately, make sure that they put all that information. I tell them if you threw newspapers for your uncle and he paid you, I want to know about it. So I want all jobs on there, and I want all the information to be accurate. So that's the first step. And then we match the skill and the talent of that individual to the position. If it's a civilian position, now my counterparts in HR will review that. But if it's a sworn position, my staff will review it, just to make sure that they fit the role. And then the second tier of that is making sure that they can be employed by BCSO. No disrespect to any other organization or company or big box store or anything like that, but it's different to come work for us. You have to be, you have to fit the role, and not only that, you have to be able to fit with us.
Yeah.
So that's the first.
And we hold some pretty high standards. Mediocrity is not what we're looking for. We're looking for people that are going to be the best of the best and take our agency to the next level.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Every hire we take that look on that aspect is, where are you now and where can you take us, and what role can you fill, and are you driven? Are you going to be a better person with us and make us that much better within our organization?
And clearly, we make some mistakes.
Yeah, every now and then,
I wouldn't mean Jay or anything like that.
It's a filter. It's a filter.
Yeah. So they do the app process, and then what happens from there?
Yeah. So once the application is reviewed, we'll have an oral review board. We'll stay with the sworn side of the house. We'll have an oral review board. But before we do that, they do a physical abilities test. So the sworn side of the house will actually go out and do a physical abilities test. We hold a high standard. The state mandates 604. We have a 430. So we want folks to be physically fit and able and capable to do the job. They'll do an oral review board. They pass that process. If everything goes well, we offer a conditional job offer for employment. That allows us to do the background, allows us to do a polygraph, allows us to do a psychological exam for the sworn side of the house. If everything goes well around those process, the background continues, and ultimately they're eligible to be hired. That's where myself, Chief, and yourself also make sure that these candidates fit the bill. And once that's done, we set them up for a hire date. And the typical background is 4 to 6 weeks. And I tell you, that I compare that to anybody else, we really do blow them out of the water. We work really hard to get these folks on board.
Right. Now, when we're talking about that background, man, we go all the way back. We interview your neighbors.
We do.
We interview your third grade school teacher, who Jay had two times, the same teacher. We go all the way back.
We do.
And when people are talking to me about, hey, I want to do this, first thing I tell them is you start right now, whether you're in 5th grade or 10th grade, you start right now making sure that you're protecting your good name and your image from it. So realistically speaking, what are some of the things that we lose people over?
So one of the biggest problems that we have, unfortunately, is that people don't tell us everything. And when I say I want it all, I really do mean that. You hit the nail on the head. We do go back. So it's important that you understand that we want all the information on there. It has to be accurate. We don't have a crystal ball. And I tell this to everybody. We don't have a crystal ball to say, Billy forgot to write that on there. Or Billy forgot to tell us of this misdemeanor arrest or this citation. We don't have a crystal ball to know if they forgot or they just weren't telling us.
Right.
So I tell people, accuracy over speed. Take your time. It's critical.
And I think the big part of that, and a lot of people don't understand it, is we understand that everybody's made mistakes in their lives. All of us have done some things that we wish we could go back and rewind and not have done. But you compound that mistake when you either omit it intentionally or accidentally, because then it goes from being a mistake to now it's an integrity issue. And mistakes we can overcome. Integrity we can't, because this job is all about integrity.
Correct, Sheriff. I always tell people, we're not looking for perfect people. They don't exist. Sorry. But the fact of the matter is, I'm looking for those that are striving towards perfection.
Right.
I want someone that drew the line in the sand and said, that's it, no more, like you said, no more of this route. I'm going to change my ways. I'm looking forward to a better me, a better person. And how does that person fit with our organization? We obviously, like you said, understand that people make mistakes. That's part of life. That's part of growing. The question is, did you learn from it, and did you move on from that? Right. So that's a big
or
part
did
of
you continue to do it?
Absolutely. There has to be a line drawn in the sand, and we have to move away from that in order to be part of this organization.
You and I talk almost daily about different applicants and stuff, and we'll have perfect applicant, somebody that we think is just going, and then they will leave something out. Sometimes, unfortunately, intentionally, because they're embarrassed about it,
right.
And then it comes out in the polygraph, or it comes out in the background. Or they filled out an application somewhere else and they didn't omit it there, but they omitted it on ours.
Right.
And then we're dead. We're dead in the water at that point. We can't do anything.
I always caution people. I'm privy to everything in my office, and we have taken a understanding in our office that what we learn stays there. We have some great, and I mean phenomenal employees. You know that as well. You see them. They've had their issues in the past. We've all made mistakes. The question is, don't, like you said, compound it by not telling us. There's nothing you can't tell me that I haven't heard in some way, shape, or form. It's just impossible. I've been doing it a little too long now. Yeah. So I just want you to be upfront and forthcoming with us, so that way we can understand it. And if we can work with it, I'm brutally honest with people.
Well, and I think that's another big point too, is be upfront with it, because it may be something that disqualifies you. And rather than going through 6 weeks of us expending our resources and your time, tell us that up front, and we're going to be honest with you, and we're going to say, hey, we're going to have to let some hair grow on this dog a little bit, and come back. Jay, what was it like when you went through the process?
I'll tell you, it was pretty eerie, because you know that there's a background investigator, and they're looking through all the things in your past, and every now and then you get a call from someone you didn't even realize that they were contacting, maybe a high school teacher, or like you said, the 3rd grade teacher I had twice in a row, and they give you a call like, hey, the sheriff's office came by my house and they were asking questions about you, and I told them good things, but they talked to me, and that's, as an applicant, I guess you're told up front that they're going to do some of these things, but to actually see it unfold is pretty incredible to see. I had the unique opportunity to actually be a background investigator.
Yeah, that's right.
It's cool, and I always tell people, when you fill out that application, fill it out as if it is a polygraph, interview, because you're going to get to that point. You're going to get all those stuff, on paper. So,
the other part of that too is, and this, you and I laugh about this. We're all recruiters for this agency. The agency itself is a recruiter because of how professional we are, how aggressive we are, how much we enjoy putting bad people in jail, how much fun we have. All of those things themselves are recruitment. tool. But then each of us individually, and you know this as well as I do, I've recruited people out of the drive-through window at McDonald's.
I do this.
that have become great employees for us, and I will tell you, and using that as an example, the thing that made me go, hey, do you want to come work for the sheriff's office, was their customer service, their respect, and how are you doing today? So it's the little things that kind of sometimes set up. I recruit off the basketball floor at the YMCA where I play basketball at. I think the last count, we have 11 people that work for our agency now that came to work because I met them on the basketball floor, and so all of us are doing this, but this agency has so much to offer. It's not just about being a deputy sheriff or being a telecommunicator, being a corrections deputy. It's IT, it's payroll, it's HR, it's
amazing. I always tell people the green and whites are what draws everyone's eyes. We're out in the community, we're driving around, and we're making contact with individuals and helping them in all sorts of situations. But we're a full breadth law enforcement agency. Like you said, we have everything from animal care techs that are walking the dogs at our shelters, all the way to IT personnel, and everything in between, mechanics. It's amazing. It's amazing. So
what does it do?
I tell people, you have an opportunity. If you were looking for a job, you really have to check us out. If you're driven, if you're looking to make an impact each and every single day, even if it's outside of corrections or law enforcement, there's a full breadth of jobs available to us here.
That's right. Yeah, and like I say, it's anything from, we have doctors that work to, veterinarians, helicopter pilots, aviation
incredible.
Mechanics,
it's incredible. Crew
supervisors, that list goes on. So there's really anything you could ever want to do, you could do right here in this agency.
Absolutely. With a tremendous benefit package as well.
Let's talk about that.
Yes, we have a tremendous benefit package, whether it's our sick leave policies, our annual leave, vacation, paid holidays, our pension, 2 forms of pension plan available to the employee. There's just a tremendous benefit package. We've been fortunate and blessed to have a tremendous amount of community support, so we know where our pay is going to be. We've been very successful with that.
Commissioners
been great partners in this. I tell people we have a great relationship with everyone in this county. Don't get me wrong, there are times that critical incidents happen and we do what we have to do as law enforcement. We put bad people in jail. But people absolutely love the sheriff's office, and it's a great thing. It's a great place to work. I sincerely love it. I've been very fortunate and blessed. I tell everyone to do the things I've been able to do in my career, and I share my story just not to brag, but just to show if you want that, it's available to you. Work hard, it's there for you.
Exactly. So to you guys go out and recruit, you go to the different police academies, but we're recruiting online. We're recruiting through Facebook, career fairs, everything else. So what's our message? What are we telling people out there?
If you want to come to a place where you have opportunity, you need 2 things to be successful. You need to be prepared, and you need to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Most of these folks are doing it in their law enforcement academy and their respective careers. Their journey has got them to the point that they're making contacts with us. I guarantee you we offer that opportunity. Right. This is a place to be. This is, if you want to be in a progressive environment, you want to make a difference, we want you here. We want to see you better. And I'll tell you, we learned a long time ago that the sheriff's office is just not our helicopters, our mobile command posts, all these fancy buildings, our 1,000+ feet. The sheriff's office is the people that work here, the people that say hello, the people that come to your door, the people that take care of the things that we need to take care of. And boy, if you want to be part of that, we'd love to have you.
Yeah,
we really would.
I cringe. Sometimes you'll hear CEOs or other agency heads, and they'll say, our support team did this, and you never hear me say a support unit, support team. And the reason for that is there are no support components of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. Everybody here is vital to the mission. You take one person out, and this place doesn't run like it's supposed to. And so I don't believe in support teams. I believe in teams.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
So you're right. That's to be a part of that. Let's talk about our red shirts for a minute.
Okay.
You drive down 95 here in beautiful Brevard County, and you see folks out on the range there off of Plucky Bomb, and It's right next to the inmate work farm there, where you get to see inmates working, and I love that part. But I was actually going to put up a sign one time that said "honk if you love to see inmates working," but it's a violation of the state statute to use your horn inappropriately, so we decided not to do that. But you can think about it.
Oh yeah.
So, but our red shirts are out there, and they're really the ones that are teaching our team how to survive in some of the most violent and critical incidents that are out there. Talk about them for a minute.
We got a great team in place, from the sergeant overseeing the unit to all the trainers out there, and even some of our adjuncts that come in and help. Again, we have such a great core group of individuals, years of experience, SWAT team members, and everything in between. We're just so fortunate. These guys go over all the different tactics that keep our deputies safe and ultimately keeps the public safe as well. We want to be able to control instances with the least force available, but if need be, we have to take those options if necessary. So everything in between. And they're also doing the school security specialist training and the guardian training. I have folks from out the entire state reaching out to us because we run such a good program. We have a tremendous success rate. Overall, I couldn't be happier as a lieutenant over the unit. I am very fortunate and blessed to have the team I have in place, and they do a phenomenal job. They really do.
I think the thing that stands out most to me is we have people that leave our agency to perhaps go to work in the federal government. Some of them have gone to work for very specialized law enforcement components up in D.C. And they actually go up and bring their teams back here to train under your team and stuff out there.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I think it's a great testament to the job they do and the caliber they bring to the stage.
I think it's great when we were doing the school security specialists and working in partnership with of our public schools and the county to come up with this concept that we have police officers retired from all over the United States, federal law enforcement officers, military folks, high-ranking officers, and they all say the same thing. This is just phenomenal training, and it's a great testament to the work that they do out there. Again, we're driven to make the best person that we can possibly get. And it shows also in self-defense tactical shooting. We get countless raves throughout the nation on that program as well. And it's a testament.
That's a great point you brought up, because I know Jay's a big part of that.
You're training law enforcement, right? You're training, everyone that works here, civilian otherwise. You're training the guardians, right? But then you train the general public, and it's the same team. And of course, it's not to the extent that you would do, during the course of a career in law enforcement, but it's the same, premier team that's doing that.
Absolutely.
One goal, and that is everybody be safe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a common theme.
Yeah. So our program, you mentioned self-defense through tactical shooting and decision-making. As far as I know, we're the only agency in the country that offers that level of course. It's an 8-hour course that our citizens go through. And they, last I knew, shoot over 100 rounds through their own gun. And they learn from our red shirts the most tactical mechanisms. Jay teaches that course as well on how to avoid an encounter from it. But they also get a legal block that's presented to them on self-defense, stand your ground, castle doctrine.
Oh, yeah.
They shoot the simulator. And the simulator, tell me about that, because I know in working with the state school initiatives for security and working with that team, we have some of the best technology out there.
It's the beauty of it is we look at everything from a multifaceted approach, from the legal aspect to the avoiding confrontation to decision making, and then utilization of not only just the range and live fire, but also simulation. We have been able to procure a great system. It is phenomenal, and it allows the folks to come in and actually use decision making in those environments. We recreate an environment that they may find themselves, whether in a store, walking to and from their car, and they now have to make those decisions live. So they get a chance to experience that. They get a chance to get that heart rate up, and it's hard to replicate that. So when we do these training events, that's the beauty of having so much experience at the table is really just being able to present it from a multifaceted, multi-front approach.
Right, and that shooting simulator, with the Guardians,
invaluable.
There's
and you can't put a price tag.
It's the latest in technology. And I got asked one time, well, do we need that? And it's the equivalent of, if your child is at a school, Do you want somebody there that was trained on the most antiquated equipment, or do you want them trained on the very best in technology? And it really comes down to that simulator is about as much about when not to shoot as it is when to shoot from it. So, just bravo to you guys. You do an amazing job out there. And Alex, you, as I said, you've taken our career development unit to a whole nother level, and you and your team. And I can't thank you enough for all you guys do out there. It's amazing to see the caliber of people. In fact, at every swear-in we have, I always
we hired your son.
you did. Have you seen this kid?
Kid looks just like
he looks just like me, and it actually worries me a little bit. He looks so much like me. But you guys hired what I think is the best of the best in the country, and that's what separates our agency from every other agency. And it's not a negative statement about any other agency, because there's some great premier law enforcement agencies.
Right.
But I just, I'd rather wear this badge than any other badge out there.
Proud of it.
Yeah. So thanks for all you do, Alex.
Thank you, Sheriff. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for another great episode of On the Go with BCSO. And again, as Alex said earlier, we're blessed to live and work in Brevard County, where our citizens love us, trust us, and protect us just as much as we love, trust, and protect them. So thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.